Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing an update on my Finish 50 project plan where I'm aiming to finish 50 items. I am now a year and a half into doing this. I started this in July of 2022. So yeah, we're now a year and a half into this, and so far I have finished 5 items. I'm only working on I want to say 13 or 14 items at one time. 12 items. I mentioned already in my previous video that my ring light is not working, so I'm having to use natural light. So I'm apologising. Sorry, my elbow just really clicked then. I'm really hurt. So I'm using natural light, so it may be a little bit dim. I apologise for that, but hopefully as the days get longer and light gets brighter. It's quite a gloomy day today. Anyway, without further ado, let's do my update on my Project 50 and where I'm at with my items. So as I said, I'm working on around 12 items at one time, and then I do it on a rolling thing. So if I finish an item, I then roll in another item from the same category, and that's how I've been trying to make sure I've got one item of each time. Okay, so the first item on my list that I have not completed yet is my NARS Laguna bronzer. This is such a nice bronzer. I'm wearing it today actually. The lighting may not be able to pick it up, but I am wearing it today. This is where we are at currently. As you can see, the pan is getting ever so much bigger. It's so exciting. This is quite a thin pan, so any progress is so easy to see, but it's so exciting just to see how much change this has happened over the course of the last year and a half. When I first rolled this in, I don't think I even had hit pan on this yet, so yeah, it's so exciting just to see the pan get ever so much bigger each time I use it. I'm not very good at guesstimating when I will finish items, but I have used this 85 times since I rolled it in July of 2022. The next item is my Makeup Revolution London Ultra Blush Palette in Hot Spice, and okay, this is very exciting. It's actually literally only happened today. It might not even be able to tell. I'm gonna try and point it in a direction. Can you see it there? 2 dots of the pan showing through. I am so excited. So I have been pushing for a pan for this for such a long time. I thought maybe it would happen last quarter. It didn't happen last quarter. I thought it was going to happen the quarter before. It didn't happen. The rings were starting to show up, I think 6 months ago. And I was just waiting and waiting. And today I was doing my makeup and these 2 little spots popped up, and I am so ecstatic about that. That's a huge goal of mine, was to hit pan on this one. Anyway, I've used it 278 times, and we're gonna have to use it many more times for me to actually finish this. But I think now that I've hit pan on it, I think the progress is going to be so much easier to see going forward than it has been previously. So this is the start of the pan, and yeah, 278 times. That's how many times I've worn makeup since 2022. I have not missed wearing this every single time I wear makeup. I tend to double it up. I tend to use this blush as the base layer, and then I use another blush over the top just to make it even more defined. That's how I've been doing makeup for the last year and a half. Anyway, I am so excited. I think that this is going to be the item that's going to be one of the hardest ones to finish. The next item we've got is my highlighter, and that is my Colourpop Single Super Shock Cheek in the shade Monster, and this is where we're up to now. As you can see, the pan is getting a little bit bigger. I feel like this pan, again, I would say, this product, I would say it's really easy to manipulate and push around. It's such a soft product that you can make the pan bigger without actually losing any product. So I've tried to keep it as realistic as possible and not move it around much. So I've been kind of trying to get it from the tops. But yeah, this is where we're at right now. I have used this 91 times since the beginning of this project in July 2022. So the next item I've got is my eyeshadow palette. This is my MUA Merge Trio eyeshadow palette in Emotions, and I have rolled in the dark shade, which is this dark brown here. And much like last quarter, the product is getting bigger as we go. We have got a sizable dip. I'm going to try and show it to you guys a little bit. It's kind of hard to kind of show you guys, but there is a big old dip in there. I think I mentioned in my last update that the more I have been using this, the easier it has been to pick up the product. When I first worked on this, like the very top of this was quite a hard pan, but as I've been going through the middle of it, it's definitely softened up, and now the product is much easier to pick up every single time. So I think that's why the dip is so prominent now. I have used this one 85 times since I rolled it into the project in July of 2022. Okay, next up is the failure of this project. This is a eyeliner. This is the Beauty Bakery eyeliner Gelato in Black Milk, and I've only used it 32 times since I rolled it into the project, which was again in July 2022. It is honestly nothing to write home about. It has not changed much at all. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, there's definitely usage there. I'm wearing it today. I'm wearing it today actually because I noticed that I've not worn it at all this last month, and I was like, that's a huge failure if I don't get this crossed off this month. So using it today to make it at least happen this time round. The way that I'm working this is that ideally I would like to work on like 50 items. However, knowing how long some of my projects are going to take to pan on, I'm just going to continue doing like a rolling project pan until I reach 50. So for example, I may end up rolling in like 60 items in total in this project, and this one may still be here at the end of the project but not be one of the 50 that has been completed. I hope that makes sense. Basically, I didn't want to just do a whole thing of doing a blanket 50 items and then getting to the 50th item and that being in here forever. So I kind of just wanted to do a rolling one and just see how many items I can get through, basically. So some of these may end up being in the entire challenge, and some may not be. We never know. I think that's kind of how I like to do the spin of things. But it made sense in my head, so hopefully it made sense to you guys that that's how I'm doing it. Okay, next item, it's my lip product. So I originally rolled this in thinking it was a lip salve. It's not a lip salve, so I wasn't wearing it very often because I was already working on another lip product. That lip product obviously was rolled out in July, so it's been about 6 months since. And this has been like the main lip product I've been working on. This is my Jelly Pong Pong Paradise Pigments in the shade Fig Jam. And this is where we're at right now. Quite recently, actually, this was the only lip product I was working on, like a coloured lip product, I would say. And then I have just recently rolled in a few different lip products in my categories. But this was what I was working on for like the last month or so by itself. So I feel like we managed to get like a good dip in here. Overall, I have used this 64 times since I rolled it in. And yeah, I feel like it's a nice item. It's not like full coverage though. I would say like you put it on and you have to like layer it quite a lot of times to get it like full coverage, otherwise it looks quite patchy. So it's not one of my favourites, but it's an easy one to just wear on a regular basis, I guess. Then for the concealer that I have rolled in, this is the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in the shade Porcelain. And when I rolled this in, I think this was potentially like brand new, never used. I feel like we have probably gone just a little bit over halfway, but this is where we are at now. I have used this 145 times. That's a lot, actually. So I was only working on this one by itself for the last couple of months as well. So I feel like I have made some major progress with this over the last couple of months. I find like it's quite it does give me some coverage. It doesn't like disappear. I feel like some concealers for me, when I try and blend them in, they just get picked up, whereas I feel like this one actually stays. Anyway, I like it. I like it a lot. For the fragrance, I rolled in, that's not the fragrance, this is the fragrance. For the fragrance I rolled in my Zoella Blissful Mistful fragranced body mist. Again, this is still not my scent. I'm not a fan of this scent at all, but I feel like as I've been using it quite a lot, I've kind of got immune to it and I've got kind of used to the smell. I find if I have like a break from this for like a week or two and then I respray myself again, I feel like, oh no, I don't like the smell. But then if I start wearing it again constantly, I feel like I get used to the smell again. Anyway, I feel like it's just a bit too sharp for me. This is where we're at. So the marker was when I had done 1 year, so that was in July. And we are now down here. Again, with this one, I was wearing like 2 different fragrances a lot last year. One of the ones that I finished in my project pan, and then I was wearing on this one. So I kept on going backwards and forwards between those two. So I feel like this one's got like a lot of progress because of that. I've only used this actually 68 times, which seems like quite a little time actually. And considering that's where I was there. Then for nail polish, I rolled in one of my oldest nail polishes actually. This is not one of my favourites. It's kind of clunky. It doesn't really dry well either. This is the Colour Club Nail Lacquer in the shade Barely There. And I marked it, I think this was, I have no idea when I marked these actually. I do have to admit we are now actually below, we are below the purple marker now. I feel like we're like around about here-ish. I can see it kind of in the screen, in the packaging even, that we are about here. So I feel like we're like here. So we have made a lot of progress. I have been a little bit more consistent with trying to remember to use this over the last month or two. So usually, obviously, my nails are usually all different colours. I painted these all the same colour because I had a family thing. I didn't want to look weird wearing loads of different colours. But then usually I kind of go backwards and forwards between this one and like a random shade. So I have been wearing this one quite a bit. I really don't like wearing this one, so I try and not wear it as much as possible. But I've got to try and finish it, guys. I've got to. I need to get my nail polish collection narrowed down. Okay, so in April of 2023, I rolled in my Baby Brown eye pencil in Cinnamon Spice. This is where we are at. I honestly can't remember where we were last time, but we have now started like cutting off some of the markings. Since it's been in April, I have used it 125 times, which is about the amount of times I've worn makeup. I don't think I would wear makeup not wearing this. So I think that's about how many times I've worn it since April. Fun facts. And then in June, I rolled in my Burt's Bees lip product. This was brand new, never used before. And it's still pretty much brand new if I roll it all the way up. It looks like it's like barely had any usage. Anyway, I've used it 82 times, but it feels like I haven't really used it at all. Also, if you can hear anything in the background, It is my washing machine, and I apologise if you can hear it in the background during its spin cycle. And then finally, in October, I rolled in my new foundation. I rolled in this. This is my Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup in the shade Shell. I actually really love this this foundation. It really suits my complexion, like my skin colour, quite well. So I really enjoy wearing this. Anyway, I'm finding it really hard to see. Let me see if I can figure it out. So this did fall over, so the markings aren't 100%, but I feel like we are like just underneath the blue marker now. As I've only rolled this in October, I've not really had that much amount of time, and I've only used it 18 times since I've rolled it in, mainly because I like wearing other foundations and some are just easy to wear. Like this one I find really annoying because it doesn't have like a pump, it just has this. So I much prefer foundations that have got pumps on them. So I do think I have been putting some on the back burner just a little bit, but considering we're quite low down anyway, I reckon that this could be easily finished in like 6 months. That's not a short time at all. Yeah, I reckon, so I wrote this one in October, I'm already here. So I reckon I am going to give myself like the July update will be when I have rolled this one out. That's when I reckon that will happen. Fingers crossed, you guys, fingers crossed. And that is all of them that I've got rolled in. As I've said, I don't roll in 50 items at once. I'm doing a rolling project, 50 pan. So when an item finishes, I then roll in a new item. So that may mean that some of these items may still be here when I hit the 50 goal, but I'm just going to try and use them as much as possible. The items that I still think will be there right at the end, well, I think this is definitely going to still be there. I think this is the only one potentially that will still be there. This one as well is a very high potential as well, but now that I've hit pan on it, I'm now thinking differently. I do think that it will still take me a long time to finish this blush. Like I've already used it nearly 280 times. Do I say 500 uses and then it'll be finished? I don't know. I think that's still going to be too low. But anyway, that's a ridiculous amount of uses, guys. That just shows you how long term blushes last. And the fact that I've got all of these other blushes as well, and they have no pan on them, and they look like they've barely been used, yet they've been used hundreds, probably thousands of times at this point, is actually honestly wild. Anyway, with that being said, that is my update. That is where I'm currently at with my items I've got rolled in currently. Next quarter, do I think I'll have rolled anything new in? That is a difficult one. I don't think so. I think I'm going to be on these ones for a little bit longer. I think I'll be very surprised if I do roll anything out, because I don't think anything is kind of like close to finishing. But again, I could be very surprised. Like, I guess if I used this every single day, maybe that could be completed in the next quarter. However, I don't wear makeup every single day, and also I'm working on how many bronzers at the moment. I'm only working on one other bronzer. Maybe it could happen. I don't think it's going to happen though. I think next quarter, maybe potentially. No, we're still quite high up for that. I was going to say maybe we can hit pan on this one, but I don't think that's going to happen. Any other pans? What do I think? With this one maybe? This could potentially hit pan maybe in the next quarter. I don't know, it's too hard to tell. Maybe I could actually finish this for once. I don't know, again, I don't really wear this enough for me to be thinking that's going to be finished. But we'll see. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!